What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, what really moved today, and what shorts did. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, SoFi did go down 1.43%. As a whole, the market was just messed up today. And so based on what is trending and what to kind of justify why all the indexes did go down, a lot of articles and analysts are kind of saying that this upcoming inflation data might not be necessarily the best. So today is Monday and we're already worrying about data that is coming at the tail end of the week. How logical is that? But Dow did go down 0.94, S&P down 0.96, NASDAQ down 1.18%. In my video yesterday, I even did bring up the fact that all the data that's been coming out has been absolutely strong as hell. And so what normally should happen, stocks go up. But what really happens, clearly the inverse. But with that good data, in my opinion, this kind of thing that I'm going to talk in a second kind of spooked to the broader market, and that is this right here. So the market cares about monetary policy, about rate cuts and everything, and for the upcoming November 7th meeting, this did pop up. So now there is a 15.5% likelihood of no cuts. So in my opinion, I think that kind of spooked a lot of the growth stocks, and combined with maybe worrying about upcoming inflation data, that's how you get this. Because I guess if inflation data does come in maybe not kind of worse for wear, maybe that might justify no cut. Again, who knows what the market will actually do, but officially no news from SoFi today, no SEC filings, nothing like that. Unofficially, this was floating around. So Data Driven Investing did post this, that starting, I believe it is tomorrow, that the APY is getting cut to 4.3 from 4.5. But in reality, I can't remember what conference that was, but Anthony recently stated that would happen, right? With rate cuts, SoFi is still going to try to be as competitive as they can, but of course they have to cut. Everyone is going to be cutting. So yeah, this is it is what it is. Again, very much expected stuff, but going over here, so you did have 40.25 million shares being traded today. 41.17 is the average. So a fair amount of volume. As you can kind of see, these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. And if you kind of piece all this together based on the timing, all of this was caused by this. So a lot of buying first thing. So in my opinion, that was the leftovers associated to the options, because you did see a abnormal amount of buying after hours on Friday. So that combined with this, I think that was just all the options, market makers covering that. And then why entities are selling, anyone's guess. I'm not really sure. You see some pretty big ones as well. So 1.4, 1.6, 9.7. So why would entities sell? I'm not really sure. Just piggybacking, I guess, off of the negativity in the market. And ultimately, what caused this right here was shorts. So shorts did surprisingly, once again, return 1.15 million shares. 17.45% of the free float is being shorted, works at be 182.5 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow minimum obviously did kind of break away from that negative, the average being 0.8, utilization 45.47. So in reality, I didn't anticipate shorts to return this much, but kind of shows that today's sell-off was unjustified. So this is why I like to analyze this information, and you can tell that based on this right here, the teal line. If it will load, come on, Ortex. But okay, aside from that, essentially, I looked at it prior to the video, and this right here was when shorts returned that majority of that 1 point whatever mil. So yeah, kind of interesting stuff. Moving over to options, $13 million in calls, 2.01 million in puts. So a lot of money was getting into SoFi through options. 55% of all the options being done today were optimistic and bullish. And as you can kind of tell, these candles stand out. So 835 to 840, there was 2.7 million in premiums. And then 840 to 845, there was 3.3 million in premiums. And just pulling up one randomly, as you can kind of see. And on a side note, with this dollar value, clearly that's not retail. This is big money. And it looks like based on that candle, two bearish options. They're multi-leg ones as well. On a side note, you can kind of see based on all the codes right here, but it looks like $8 calls, $7 calls, both for January 17th, 2025. Oddly, that was a very popular one, even on Friday for whatever reason. And then looking at the other option right over here, so premiums, this one similarly were just $8 calls for the most part, the major ones, all of which kind of look bearish. So not necessarily the best out of that, but of the call options that are being purchased, or I guess were purchased today, there's a consensus for it to be roughly around that $8.50 to $9 range by the end of this week. And then looking at puts, you see a consensus for it to be sub $8. So a lot of volume today, and based on this, in my opinion, there still is a little bit more upside than down, so a lot more optimism overall. And right now with it at closing at $8.27, it is trading between this pivot and this R1, so $8.12 is going to be that strong support that wasn't really touched whatsoever today. And then $8.44 is that next strong resistance, which SoFi did break above that twice. So clearly it's not that strong. So SoFi just needs that nice little push, and hopefully entities and institutions will be able to buy maybe hopefully some positive momentum tomorrow. Today is just clearly a write-off, I guess, but 844 will be that strong pivot that you'll want to watch for SoFi to get above. But on the actual chart, still a lot of bullish points, so still higher percentile. Stochastic, you do see it at 53, the bullish deviation as well, so white line above the red. And the only thing that I wanted to, I guess, bring up is number of retail investors oddly were getting out today for whatever reason. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. This is a quick summary of everything that did happen, a lot of which was not logical whatsoever. So just the market sold off because of future worries, and as well possibly just maybe the likelihood of nothing happening for the November 7th. And then shorts, for whatever reason, actually it finally loaded, so the teal you can kind of see right here based on that. So yeah, shorts returned net 1.15 million shares, and I always like to look at this as well. So through IBKR, it does indicate around more than 10 million shares is available to be shorted. So if shorts really did feel that SoFi was overvalued, they have more than enough ammunition to really double down. And as I brought up, cost to borrow through IBKR at least is very cheap. So yeah, again, if entities out there really did think that SoFi was going to go back down to maybe the 6s, 5s, or whatever, they could easily double down, but they don't. So this is a good tool that I like to use to analyze. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And if you do like my channel, want to support the growth, I did launch memberships through YouTube. So if you do, I greatly appreciate that. And with all that said though, appreciate all of you guys watching.